Hi, I'm Gyllenhaal, the Herald's executive editor. Today on Inside the Newsroom, we reach for the mailbag to answer your questions and suggestions and complaints. But before we do, I should tell you that it's not really a mailbag at all anymore, but an outpouring of letters, emails, tweets, phone calls, and comments that have helped transform the way we work in a number of different ways. Your messages that arrive as the stories unfold often guide the paper's coverage. Your online ratings help build digital guidance on restaurants and nightclubs. Your comments on online stories create a kind of chorus of reaction as stories are being published. Some of these emails and letters also contain pointed questions about coverage and how things turn out in the paper and online. So let me briefly answer some of the most recent arrivals. James Harrison of Miami wondered why stories on Republican Charlie Crist and Marco Rubio have seemed to outnumber those on Democrats in the Senate race. Democratic candidates for the nomination, he said, should be asked the same tough questions and their background should be scrutinized just like Republican candidates. Well, the early coverage of the Senate race has focused on Republicans because that's where the action is. The Crist-Rubio matchup has been one of the most interesting in the country and is gathering attention from all across the nation. We've also written a great deal about the records of Democrat Alex Sink and Republican Bill McCollum in the gubernatorial race as they've emerged as frontrunners, again, because that's where the competition is. Readers can count on the same kind of examination of the wide field of candidates lining up for the Senate races and everything on down as competition picks up speed. Joy N. McCary, a reader from Coral Gables for the past 40 years, didn't mince with words about one of her pet peeves. Quote, "Is it necessary to print the People page at all?" she wanted to know. "Do we really need to kill trees for this trash?" Well, the People page report may not be the most important news in the paper, which is why it's tucked into the A section on page 8. But even there, it is one of the best read parts, and it provides a lively jolt of photos and quotes in the center of the newspaper. Movie stars, entertainers, athletes, models may not only be interesting, but they're also all over South Florida, so surely there's a place for them in the newspaper. Carolyn Hallaby is one of a number of readers who continue to object to the move last May that we deliver the Sunday TV book only to those who request one. Quote, "One would expect to be informed of that at the time of the subscription was made," she wrote, signing off as an unhappy customer. About 20% of our readers used the TV book when it came with every paper, which was the reason for making them optional. The book carries a nominal charge of 25 cents a week to help make sure that readers really want them. Some have understandably objected to that charge, but it has helped to save an enormous amount of waste, and because of the smaller press run, it's also allowed us to improve the book, adding pages, more listings, and better movie summaries. We thought that was worth the trade and hope that you will too in time. Gretchen Schmidt sent a message this week asking why a recent heat win was at the top of MiamiHerald.com through the morning that day. Quote, "Never mind that there were other news stories, local and national, worthy of coverage," she wrote. "Cynics out there will say that the expansive coverage was guaranteed because of advertising. I don't want to believe that," she said. Well, first, you can rest assured that our advertisers have nothing to do with the play on stories like these. The separation between the news and ad departments is an inviolate policy. It's also sound business. You simply aren't going to want to read a newspaper influenced by advertisers, and nor are advertisers served by a newspaper that would do that. The Heat is off to its best start ever, which has led to a slightly higher play in the paper and online. And we hope the Heat keeps winning, but if they don't, the play on those games will naturally lose some altitude as well. Once more, thank you for your letters, emails, and calls. We very much appreciate your reading the Herald and your logging on to MiamiHerald.com.